All right. All right, everybody out there in the CraftChest Nation. You know, I thought of 100 different ways of making this big, elaborate face video comeback. And you know what? I just decided just to do it just like this, kind of like old school, and not really have those big, long intros, because, you know, I like to do different things with intros. But this time I just said, screw it. And you will notice me looking right over here, because I am on my main computer, and this is the same camera that T2 couldn't get to work on his computer, and he's got a dual boot and all that good stuff. So T2, if you watch this video, be sure and get with me. I have a program I can transfer to you to make your Orbit MP work on Windows 7, even with 64-bit. It works with 32 and 64-bit, so I'll get with you on that. But for everybody else out there, let me just say, it is so good to be back with the craft of the mind back here, as you can see around me. And yes, that's not candles, that is actual power that you see there here at CraftChest Island. And let me tell you what, I know firsthand now what it is to live like the Waltons for 8 months, and it sucks. All right, get it very creative and adaptive, let me tell you. And I was using the Defiant, my almighty Cobalt out there, as a power generator, but we're not going to get into the details of that right now. Just want to give a warm welcome to everybody to CraftChest that's never been here before, and a welcome back to everybody else that's seeing this video of me with my first face video from here in over a year now. And, well, I don't know if it's been over a year, but it's been close to a year since I have actually done a face video. It has been over 2 years. I know for a fact of that. Almost 2 years. Well, I guess I don't know for a fact then. From this particular studio room. And I decided to move back in here because it is my favorite. It's got all the very large windows, natural lighting, and everything else that we need to really have good quality face videos, and gaming videos for that matter. And speaking of which, if you noticed in the earlier video that I just posted before, which I don't even know what I named it, so screw it. But anyway, you saw a few games in there tagged in for what I have been researching and training on and playing. And I will be getting some footage not only of Diablo 2 Lord of Destruction in the future, but also too, I've really, whenever I was able, I've really been training hard on StarCraft 2, and I want to get to where I was as good and getting better than I was before. I had some misfortunate issues happen with an office of mine that I had in town for my computer business, and what else is happening? Still play Trackmania like no other. There's people that's talking about that they were #1 on every server that they play, and I was like, well, the server I play on, if you get #1, you are the man. We play the hard map server. If you want to go to hardmaps.com and meet the crew that I play with on Trackmania, and you want some really challenging tracks, go to Hard Maps and check it out on Trackmania. And that's Trackmania Nations or Trackmania United, either one. I have both. And when I log in under United. That way they get to see my fancy car that I paid $9.99 while Steam had a sale going on. And speaking of Steam, let's jump into a little bit of news right here. Steam has some amazing deals. It's insane of the low prices that they have on games right now. As a matter of fact, there was a guy that I was talking to in town the other day talking about he wanted to get the collection of all the Battlefields, and they had Battlefield on there just freaking for like crazy cheap, like $7.99 or something like that. And they had more than just the one. So yeah, Steam has some amazing deals. It looked like they had 60, 75, 90% off of some games. So be sure and go check that out. I might actually post a video a little later going over that, because getting closer to Christmas, people's going to start getting their little gift cards and their Visa cards and debit cards and their PayPal charged up and their bank accounts full of money. Well, maybe not full, but enough to grab a few games. So we might make a little video here and post it up to let people know what's going on with that. But anyway, in the future, I'll be going over, and I tried to do this once before earlier in the year and really got sidetracked from that, but I was going to go over some upcoming games a little bit like Machinima does and the NoobTube and all that, but mainly just to go over the list, not the details of what you can look for, and then get speculation on games that keep getting pushed up, i.e. Diablo 3, which I constantly get questioned on the street, on the internet, right here on YouTube. And guys, it's like I said before, it's not going to be for another year, 2 years minimum before they ever even get that game out as a first phase game, let alone thinking, and people's talking about expansions already. We need to worry about the first 3 or 4 characters that they push out on us for their hefty new prices of like $50 and $60 for these games. So I want to do that, and as long as Murphy leaves us the hell alone, and a lot of people say, we're talking about Murphy, man. Murphy's Law. You know, anything that can go wrong will go wrong. I got a bounty out for Murphy, so if anybody wants to collect on the bounty, we must have him dead or alive. Murphy must go. So as long as Murphy don't mess with us, we are back and leveling back up here at CraftChest Island. As you can see, I'm just as swole as I was before. Not going to keep a good man down, even when he doesn't have anything. We will adapt, just like the board around here, man, because it's like the rule says, first order of business, survival, and then everything else comes into play. So yeah, I'll be pushing out a video here to everybody to really let you know what's been happening. But right now, I don't want to talk about all that because it's Christmas time. It's time to have fun. And speaking of fun, either tonight, now I will say this, and provided that Murphy don't mess with us again, or doing this, is that I want to actually do some live streaming out there with some games. Now, I don't have the cool games loaded or can get it to work like T2 and the crew does with SAMP or anything like that, but you know the games I have. I have StarCraft 2, I got Diablo 2, I got Trackmania, we have Left 4 Dead 2. I think that's all the multiplayers that I have right now. Oh, well, I got Counter-Strike, but I never jump on it. Borderlands, Jet Faves was talking about maybe playing a little Borderlands if I can get that to load up on multiplayer, because I loaded a patch in, or an expansion in, on my Borderlands and tried to play it last night, and it crashed out about 3 times on me, so I may have to get that reconfigured. We may have to just play regular Borderlands, but who knows? And we might just fire up the live stream, take question and answers, and just chit-chat with everybody. But tonight there won't be any partying. We will be drinking coffee because I've had I guess you'd say, a passing on remembrance and celebration for one of our closest and dearest friends. And I don't want to leave it on a sad note because, let me just put it out there. Dax, the almighty Dax that we know and love here on the internet, and Stormkiller and the crew, and even myself, made him world famous in the middle of the night on December the 11th, approximately 2 to 3 a.m. in the morning. He passed away. He was 14 years old, so, you know, he lived a long, and this past year's been a little bit rough, but for the 13 years anyway, he lived a long, happy, and loved life. You guys know how much I love my animals. And he will be dearly missed. So we've been doing a remembrance for him for the past week, actually. And it hasn't been a big deal with people around the house here, but mainly just myself and some friends that knew him. So there you go. I'm sad that he's gone, but I'm not sad because I know that even though we went through some hard times in the past 8 months, I promised him, and I promised myself, that we would be back here in this house, fully functional. And just like in that last video, this fully armed and operational battle station. So, yeah, it was right here. I got a little bed set up over here. It's actually a couch, but I had it laid out because I've been lazy. Been here getting my computer set up. But it was here in this room. Matter of fact, right here behind me. Where his final hours and final minutes were, and he will be missed. So everybody throw a big shout out to the almighty Dax, and there will be no other like him. I don't care what anybody says, and he was a noble pud, noble cat. So there you go. And that's not a sad note, people. Like I said, don't be sad. Just throw a big shout out there for him and keep his memory alive. Okay, and just like everybody else out there knows about CraftChest, you know, we're going to keep this memory alive because it is a craft of the mind. And I'm going to leave it right there until the next video so I can go into more details. I might have to do a longer video and actually load it to Blip, and I'll let you know if I do that. So stay tuned for all the fun here at CraftChest. See you later.